Since 2023, Mark Consuelos, a former soap star, has officially co-hosted Live with Kelly. He had filled in as a guest co-host on multiple occasions before. After Ryan Searles left the show, ABC knew they had to find a replacement for Kelly Ripa that would complement her perfectly. With her actual husband in the lead, who could possibly be a better choice? Kelly and Mark have been married since 1996 and have plenty of anecdotes to share with their fans. Mark Consuelos shocked his fans recently by discussing his incisive reaction to an inquisitive store clerk. If you want to know what happened, you have to stay tuned. Since her debut in 2001, Kelly Ripa has been a mainstay on daytime talk shows. She replaced Kathie Lee Gifford as a co-host after her departure. Prior to Regis Philbin's retirement, Kelly served as co-host and later became the show's primary host. After Kelly's husband became a permanent cast member, the show was renamed Live with Mark and Kelly. Daytime watchers will recognize the host. She was a mainstay on the daytime drama All My Children from its 1990 to 2002 run. In 1995, her future husband became a cast member, and it was then that they met. But had she failed to follow her life's purpose? Recently, the co-hosts discussed whether Kelly Ripa should drastically alter her career path. The truth is that her spouse pushed her to jump. Their conversation about her activities during his Broadway performance of Good Night and Good Luck brought up the subject. At home, she watched court TV nonstop. His wife, Mark Consuelos claims, is a true crime junkie. The trial of Karen Reid had captured her undivided attention. In a lighthearted manner, he inquired as to Kelly's intentions after the trial was over. "I'm going to roll into whatever the next trial is that they're going to serve me," said she. Since she enjoys observing trials so much, her husband proposed that she pursue a law degree. Kelly Ripa contemplated it, admitting, "I really did miss my calling as a judge, jury, and attorney," she admitted. Though Mark urged her to quit the show and become a lawyer, she ultimately chose not to. "Do I want to be the world's oldest law student? I am unsure," she stated. Kelly Ripa's witty banter with her husband would be sorely missed by both the studio crowd and fans at home if she were to ever go. They discussed their recent shopping excursion to Vancouver, Canada, in another episode. Kelly made her disapproval of the current tendency of retail employees greeting customers with the words, "welcome and known." In his own unexpected conversation, her spouse had something to say. He elaborated by saying he went to an Apple store to get a new phone. And staffer asked Mark Consuelos about his plans for the remainder of the day as they rang up the purchase. "It's a bank heist. That is the purpose of the phone. Don't tell anyone. But later I'm going to rob a bank." In a caustic response, the talk show host spoke out, thinking, "None of your business." Mark continued by telling the audience that he didn't like the intrusive question. Mark Consuelos was well known to viewers of daytime television's soap operas even before he became a co-host. Consuelos was born to Mexican parents in Saruga, Spain in 1971. She went to Belmont, California, for her upbringing after moving to the U.S. as a child. His early interest in performance and public involvement were evident while he was a linebacker for the Fighting Irish football team and a marketing major at the University of Notre Dame. His life took a sharp turn in 1995 when he tried out for the part of Mateo Santos on All My Children, an ABC soap opera. The role ended up being fated. Consuelos received Daytime Emmy nominations and instant fan adoration for his portrayal of the intensely romantic Santos. Kelly Ripa, who would later become his wife and on-screen love interest, was another someone he met on the Pine Valley set. Consuelos had amassed an outstanding record by the time he said goodbye to soaps in 2002. He had capitalized on his fame from All My Children by appearing in tiny film parts and guest starring on primetime series. Even so, he was still bound for the daylight hours. Only this time he would be sitting in the host chair instead of hiding behind a spectacularly collapsing chandelier. With nothing more than ambition and charm, Kelly Ripa landed her breakthrough role as Haley Vaughn on All My Children in 1990. Over the next 12 years, her television career continued. Ripa won daytime Emmys and became a symbol of the show's youthful energy. Her fans followed her from acting to hosting talk shows. After Kathie Lee Gifford left Regis and Kathie Lee's house in 2000, Ripa auditioned in front of a national audience and was hired. Their cooperation was a natural fit from the start, combining her sharp mind with Regis Philbin's seasoned expertise. Performance art. Without missing a beat, Live with Regis and Kelly became a daytime behemoth for the subsequent 8 years. In the 8 years that followed, Live with Regis and Kelly steadily became the daytime television powerhouse that it is today. Because of their generational difference and drastically different way of life, the pair had incredible connection. The lovely old pro Regis and the lively, quick-witted young mother Kelly. They were unrivaled in the ratings until Fallon's retirement announcement in 2011 changed everything. With his departure, a period came to a close, and Ripa found herself alone at the helm of a large ship. The show went through a transitional period called Live with Kelly after Regis's tearful farewell. Ripa hosted with a rotating cast of guest hosts for nearly a year. Seated next to her was Anderson Cooper, Josh Groen, and everyone else from the public audition process. There were a lot of tough chemical tests. Once again, producers were on the hunt for someone who could rival Kelly in a sparring match, take care of the host's conversational style, and win over the wide midday audience. Former NFL player Michael Strahan was chosen in 2012 after a lengthy search. After changing its name to Live with Kelly and Michael, the show's ratings skyrocketed. The imposing Strahan added a new dynamic to the mix. He was charismatic, athletic, and towering above the short Ripa. Their dissimilarities made for hilarious banter, and the crowd enjoyed it. For 4 years, it appeared like the show had finally found its anchor, winning daytime Emmys together. But in 2016, the golden age of Kelly and Michael ended in a shocking and unexpected way. According to rumors, Ripa was among those stunned when ABC announced Michael Strahan would be leaving Live to become a full-time member of Good Morning America. One of the most talked about tales in daytime TV history was the subsequent drama. There were rumors that Ripa was caught unawares and only found out moments before the official announcement was made public. She skipped her vacation a few days early since she felt executives insulted her and kept her in the dark. Show boycotted by not appearing on it. She returned with a monologue that went on to become legendary in the business. She calmly addressed the crowd as she and Strahan made their way out, saying that the incident had sparked a much-needed dialogue about workplace respect, consideration, and communication. Strahan was whisked away in record time, leaving Kelly Ripa to fend for herself once more. Viewers felt the mounting tension in the last weeks, which brought a new level of seriousness to the always humorous morning program. Both have progressed past the difficult breakup. However, the incident demonstrated Ripa's strength and her undeniable dominance of the show. Following another year of guest hosts, during which Ripa demonstrated her ability to effortlessly host the show on her own. In 2017, Ryan Seacrest was announced as the permanent co-host. The return of Ryan and Kelly to the franchise gave it a feeling of security. The post was a perfect fit for Seacrest, a veteran broadcaster and lifelong friend of Ripa's. There was a smooth transition. Their hand was already weak. Comfort and easiness were hallmarks of Seacrest's leadership. His demanding schedule, which included stints in both New York and Los Angeles for American Idol, eventually caught up with him. As the pandemic progressed, they continued to be a dependable morning presence, broadcasting from their homes and then making their way back to the studio. Seacrest, however, was unable to continue living the coastal lifestyle. He made the announcement that he was going to step away in early 2023 to concentrate on his responsibilities on the West Coast. Compared to Strahan, his exit was dramatic. The most obvious heir, Mark Consuelos, was ushered in by an amiable, touching, and admiring ceremony. The risk of permanently hiring Mark Consuelos was well justified. More people than anyone else in the history of the show had sat in his chair as a guest host. His name was already familiar to the crowd. Everyone was familiar with him, his voice, appearance, and, most significantly, his connection to Kelly. The show's dynamic changed from two friends conversing to a morning marriage session in April 2023 when it rebranded to Live with Kelly and Mark. An immediate sense of intimacy permeated the material. When the show begins with the host's chat, it's as if you're eavesdropping on a hushed discussion taking place around the dining table. In a manner that millions of couples can relate to, they argue over thermostat settings, argue about who is the stricter parent, and voice their frustrations. In actuality, it's more like a talk show with a talk show twist. The honest interaction between Mark's cool, slightly aloof attitude and Kelly's high energy, oversharing narration is what draws many viewers. The Ripa Consuelo family is one of the main draws of the show. The audience feels that they've been a part of the couple's parenting journey via the upbringing of Michael, Lola, and Waken. Over the years, Kelly would regale them with tales from their childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Michael Consuelos, who was born in 1997, looks much like his dad. He majored in cinema and television at New York University. Now he's just doing what his parents did. making a name for oneself in show business. His portrayal of Hiram Lodge, the son of the show's creator, was a smashing success, and he received high marks for his convincing likeness and acting talents. His current work in production and writing demonstrates his ambition to excel in both front of and behind the camera. Lola Consuelos, who came into this world in 2001, has been the laid-back polar opposite of her famous parents. Kelly makes fun of Lola's stringent regulations on her mother's social media posts about her on a regular basis. While at NYU, Lola majored in music as well. Singles such as Divine Timing, Silver Lining, and Paranoia marked the beginning of her musical career.